Have you ever taken a personality test on the internet with weird questions about whether you like cookies with raisins and you thought you were Slytherin, but turns out you're a Hufflepuff? Or you grew up believing you were a badass firebender, but turns out you're a waterbender? Okay, maybe you're all of them. Maybe you're the opposite.
Wait. I thought we were supposed to talk about learning.
Oh, yeah, sure. Personality. What is personality? Well, It is. It can be defined as traits or qualities of a person, the dynamic moods related to the cognitive processing of emotions, or predispositions learned through social experience.
There are some models that can be used to analyze the personality of the individuals. First of all, we have the Penn model. The Penn model is the first Eysenck model of personality. It focuses on temperament and it's comprised of three traits: psychoticism related to aggressivity, extraversion related to cortical arousal, and neuroticism related to reactions in the presence of danger. They are measured by the physical changes of our bodies when we respond to certain actions, like for example, fear or danger. This model and its instruments have been widely validated, but now Penn is outdated.
We also have the MBTI or the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. This consists of four traits with opposite poles. We have the extraversion versus introversion, feeling versus thinking, perceiving versus judging, and intuiting versus sensing. And with the combination of all these traits, we get the 16 archetypes or 16 personalities. And though these are opposite sides, it doesn't mean that you have just one of them. We all have both of them, but one of them is stronger, meaning that one of them, for example, you can be a thinking and feeling person, but maybe you're more of a thinking, so you might be a logician, an INTP, for example, in contrast to a feeling that could be a mediator.
Well, and finally, we have the five-factor model of personality, also known as the Big Five. This model has become the dominant model of personality in psychology, in part because it has succeeded in combining well all the preceding ones. This model is measured by the NEO 5-factor inventory, a 60-item inventory that measures these five broad dimensions only.
We have the openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
Exactly.
Now you might be wondering what does all of this have to do with learning, right?
Well, in order to explain how personality related with learning, we have to explain what the learning and cognitive styles are. Learning styles is defined as the individual's natural, habitual, and preferred ways of absorbing, processing, and retaining new information and skills. Learning styles basically represents how the individual approach to learning, having a psychological basis, which fixes how the individual interacts with situations and tasks. Although learning styles and cognitive styles have too often been used in an interchangeable manner, they aren't the same. In cognitive styles, the individual is devoid of any educational and situational interferences. It's kind of a purer definition. Anyway, cognitive styles are typically identified as being in a conceptual gray area between personality and intelligence. Scholars interested in the individual variation in cognitive processing identify two classes of relevant factors: ability and style. Abilities refer to the content and level of cognition, while cognitive styles refer to the manner of mode of cognition. Even though the theoretical basis of cognitive styles is more solid than learning styles, even cognitive styles have been subject to some problems. The main problem is that style research has encountered some problems with their measurement, using ineffective methods and having a lack of clear distinction between style and other constructs.
We also have language learning strategies and self-regulation. First, the difference between ordinary learning and strategic learning relies on the process. Strategies are conscious, mental, and behavioral procedures. They help improving a learner's perception, storage, reception, retention, and retrieval of language learning. So it is not just identifying the material and using coders like we would normally do. There are three critical characteristics on learning strategies. First, it is goal-oriented. Secondly, it is intentionally involved, and it is also effortful. A really important thing here is that the element of choice, that is, the student or learner voluntarily engages with strategic learning when they see it will be effective to increase their individual learning. Also, given the fact that language is situated within given contexts or cultures, learning strategies can vary from culture to culture, mostly from the ethnicity-based variation of learning styles and the formal or informal educational experiences of people. Self-regulation, on the other hand, is very similar to learning strategies and does work under the same mechanisms, but it's more dynamic. It refers to the degree in which learners actively participate in their learning. In that sense, for us English students, what we know as ordinary learning would be attending to class, taking notes, doing the assignments, the works, the normal stuff. But now let's say that we are looking up for a way to improve our speaking. So we purposefully engage in conversations among us, targeting new things or new topics to maintain our vocabulary rich and our speaking smooth. That would be a learning strategy in which we are self-regulating or learning. I mean, yeah. Now,
Okay, so how does it all of this relate to personality? As well approached by Ortega, it is that certain that personality types are more attracted to learning languages?
well, there's this study by Moody from 1998 in which they used the MBTI type to study a group of college students from Hawaii that voluntarily enrolled in European foreign languages classes. The study showed that a great proportion of the students had the thinking and intuitive traits on their personality. That is, people who rely on memory and associations on one hand, and analytical thinking on the other, which is actually a very common personality type. People that like to work with language words and also apply to grammatical analysis and rules. Like I said before, the INTP trait fits perfectly on the personality type. Now, let's not forget that people have just one of the other traits. We have both of them. Just one of them is like stronger. It's how we present ourselves as how we react to the world.
Yeah, this might be a little confusing, right? Well, there are different learning strategies because there are different learning styles.
Guys, that means that, well, there are different types of intelligence, right? So there are also different types of people.
And of course, that means that there are different personalities. People are really complex beings. And we got curious, so we took the MBTI test to see what kind of personality we have.
And just for the fancies, and turns out that both of us are INFPs, and well, because of their intuitiveness, INFPs are more prone to learning languages or are more interested in languages, like Tolkien.
Yeah. Also, the INFP type tends to be a little more reserved. Our learning improves when it's done in close groups or with close person or not persons at all.
Yeah, like learning first is best done by yourself, investigating and looking for information in a way that's not too loud or that won't involve too many people. It's more individual.
Yeah, we learn best in a autodidact way, as opposed to some people that are more extroverted, so they learn best to when they are sharing with other people and discussion with them.
Yeah, like they need the kind of interaction with others. Well, not us. And
So, goodbye.
that's it. We invite you to take the MBTI test, by the way. It's fun actually and kind of creepy by how accurate it is.